Hi guys, welcome back. I'm gonna make the meatballs now. If you watched my previous video, I just did a sauce video, and so now I'm gonna do my meatballs. But first, I'm gonna have a nice glass of Chianti. While I'm out here cooking, I need a little wine, and this is just a Chianti, which I love. Oh, and it's so good. Okay, so let's get started. And make sure if you're making sauce and meatballs and sausage and some ziti's, sorry, get you a glass of wine. Okay, so normally what I do is this is like a 2-pound package of ground chuck hamburger meat, you know. It's about 2 pounds approximately. A little less, but who's counting? And this is going to make a lot of meatballs. Whoa. And I'm making a mess already. I'm good at that. Okay. Let me wipe my hands. Okay, so then I put all my ingredients in before I start mixing. That way I don't have to touch anything or whatever. Okay, so I don't measure, but I'm going to try to measure for you guys. Yeah. Okay, I got a teaspoon. So we're going to start with let's see. This is hard because when you don't measure, so I just would sprinkle it on and see what looks good to me. Yeah, about a teaspoon, perfect. And the salt, I know will be a teaspoon, which I usually pour in my hand, and that's about a teaspoon right in the little cup of your hand there. It's a little over, but who's counting? I might put a little bit more. It depends. I love lots of parsley, so definitely 2 heaping teaspoons of those. And I don't usually measure onion powder. Just sprinkle in a little. I usually like cover the meat so you can just see it on there. See that? I don't know. And you can leave any of these ingredients out if you want to. And then this is garlic powder. I'm sure it's probably about a teaspoon of each. And this is almost the end, so might as well use it up. And you can put Parm cheese in there too. I don't usually put too much because I think it makes them heavy. So I just about a teaspoon. And then when you're making your meatballs, breadcrumbs can make your meatballs heavy. If you're wondering why are mine so heavy and they're not light, and you know you're putting too much breadcrumbs. So I just put about, I'd say a quarter cup. It's not a lot. And then I usually put 2 eggs. These are jumbo, or I usually put like 3, but these are jumbo. So I figured I'll just put 2. Come on, look at that big yolk. Oh my goodness. So there's what we got so far. And then, let's see if I got everything. And then I like to put in some of the coarse black pepper in there too. So about a half a teaspoon of that. So we got, did I do 1 or 2 salts? Ooh, I can't remember. Why do I always mess up these videos? I'll be doing good and then I do something silly. But anyway, so I think we got everything in there. And just lightly mix it. Like, fold it like into itself like that. And don't spend time playing with it and all that other stuff. And if you look at it when it's done, when you're done mixing it, and you don't see all those good seasonings, put more. And if you have a little bit too much egg, you can add a little more breadcrumb, but you don't want to put too much breadcrumb. And these do look a little loose for my liking, so I will put a tiny, well, maybe I'll just put a little more cheese, and you could put a little more cheese too. That's like a binder. And this doesn't have to be exact either. I mean, you can put as much as you want, as less as you want. And that's all the mixing you're going to do. So you could have added some breadcrumbs, or you could have just added, like I said, some of that cheese. And basically that's how I make my meatballs. And now don't mess with them and get them all, what do you call it, tough. Don't get them tough. So I used to fry mine all the time, but now I just spray a cookie pan just so they don't stick and they're easy to remove. Get them out of there. Well, let's stay up here because I don't know where the video is going to go. Okay, and then I just get like enough that fits right into the palm of my hand so that you can cup it like this. You can see. And then just give it a little roll. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. Don't mush it. Don't like press hard. And if they're not all the same size, it's no big deal. But if you do make them bigger, they're gonna take longer to cook. So then some are gonna get done sooner and some later. But try to make them all about the size of a golf ball. And just do the best you can. They don't have to be perfect. Just the little tips that I told you will help you with your own recipe that you may have, that you may say, oh, you know, how come mine come out, you know, too doughy, you're putting too much breadcrumbs, or not enough egg. And it's usually about 1 egg per pound, but I always put like 3 eggs for my 2-pound mix. And don't work the meat so much. Just like I told you, just roll it a couple times like that. Cup it and roll it, and that's it. Don't sit there trying to make them perfect and all that. You just got to kind of get them together so that they won't fall apart. So just so they're rolled enough so they won't fall apart. And I'm going to freeze some of these because, of course, I don't, eat all this in one meal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze some, maybe raw like this, and just stick them in a baggie and put them in my freezer. Or cook them all and then freeze some that are already cooked, and then I can just pull them out and have them whenever I'd like. And I just made a big pot of sauce. If you were watching my previous video, my pasta sauce, I'm going to freeze that as well, so that I can just pull out a little sauce, pull out a couple cooked meatballs. You could even cook up some of the sausage and put them in the freezer, or just, package them up, so you have it all ready, and it's always in the freezer. And then you always have something for dinner. And what's, easier to make than pasta sauce and meatballs, or sausage, or whatever meat you use. And then I would bake these in the oven for maybe 35 to 45 minutes. Yeah, probably we'll say about 40 minutes, and then you're going to get a lot of grease and juice on the pan. Just drain that off, and then they'll be fine. They'll come right out. Because you might get a lot. Sometimes it just depends on how much. And it looks like we're going to get like about 18 to 20 meatballs. Usually I do about 2.5 pounds, I guess, and I get about 25 meatballs, I guess. Because we like to eat a couple, while we're waiting for everything to get done. We have a little meatball sandwich. There's nothing like that on a nice piece of Italian bread and then dip it in the sauce or have it with sauce. I like to eat mine plain with the bread, but some people like to eat it with the sauce, and that's fine too. I mean, I love the sauce, but I love the meatballs too, like without the sauce, because then you're going to have them for dinner with the sauce on them, so I like to have one. My mother always set me out a few on the side because I always like to have them. I mean, I think all the way up until I was, you know, grown. But she always did it for me when I was a little kid. And she'd pull a couple out. And then everyone else would say they want some now too. Just because they wanted some of the meatballs. But those were just set aside for me because I liked them without being in the sauce when I was a kid. And it looks like we're going to have just a tiny bit left over. So... let's see, we got 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, we only got 15. So, yeah. Well, I made them a little, maybe they're a little big, I don't know. We'll cook this little one too, and he'll be done before all the other ones get done. And now, if I can just get you to hold on 1 second. Anyone who is watching the sauce video, I'm going to show you how the sauce is doing. So if you did watch the sauce video, let me show you how it's doing down here. There it is. And actually I added a bell pepper, which I forgot to tell my viewers, and some big chunks of mushrooms. I cut them big so the ones who don't like them don't have to eat them, and the ones who do like them can enjoy them. But here is how it looks. It smells amazing, and I just can't wait to eat it. And I forgot to tell everyone, it should cook from anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, even 4. You know, let it cook on low. Yep, I have it on low, so it won't burn. And then just give it a stir over here and there, and it smells amazing. But I want to tell you guys all, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by, checking out my videos, the likes, the love, the comments. To all my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. To all my old subscribers, thank you for continuing to watch. And I'm loving it. And I'm going to give this a taste. Oh my God. So good. Okay, so cook your meatballs on 350 and 35-40 minutes. I usually cut one open or peek in, see how it's doing, and then if it needs a little bit longer, and then it's going to cook in the sauce for a good 2 hours anyway. So if they're not all the way done, you don't have to worry about it. They'll cook in the sauce a little bit too. So tonight we're having Zita's meatballs and sausage. And I made this big pot, but I'm going to freeze a lot of that. But, oh my God, you guys, give this a try. My meatballs a try. If you watch the sauce video, give that a try. It smells amazing. It tastes delicious. And I want you guys to all be blessed. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.